There we go. Yeah, recording on both. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Counterculture Pod. We are at Rogue, and it has stormed. We are trying to
How you doing?
It's Chong? What's up, Chong? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You want to make some bad decisions today?
Yeah, let's make some freaking bad decisions, dude.
We got some candy.
Oh,
this is pretty
give
much
me that
drugs
Twix,
at a
dude.
CrossFit event.
I was waiting for the Bleezy, though.
Listen, right now we're in Texas, so we gotta do this. I'm just kidding. And then I switch out.
That's good. That's funny. You got some wig on you, bro.
My wife's like, whose hair is that?
It's Justin's. You should see his hair from the podcast.
Literally, you could say
Yeah, you could.
Justin.
That's me, dude.
Oh, you. Sorry.
You're good, bro. You're good.
It's Justin. Like, me and Justin got real intimate.
We were just snuggling,
We got tangled in our thoughts.
doing some snuggies.
Yes, exactly.
Sweet, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna give you some. I'll get some shit.
All right, cool. Yeah, we can do it. You want to do it later on the pod, or you want to do it
We could do it during the pod too.
All right, cool.
Like at the
Yeah.
end or whatever.
however you want to do it, man? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Counterculture Podcast. We're here at Rogue with Anthony from
UnoMas.
UnoMas. He's it's a clothing line.
Yeah, it's a motivational clothing line.
Okay.
So yeah, man, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. So him and I met because of Roderick. Yet again, another dude that Roderick was kind enough to make the introduction for.
He's cool people, kinda.
He's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
somewhat. He's sometimes funny. Does some stuff on Instagram here and
A
there.
little bit.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Little
You know what I
guy,
mean?
yeah.
He's kind of known, not really. Just kidding.
Just a little bit,
We
a little
love
bit.
you, dude. We're just messing.
Yeah, man. So, yo, tell me a little bit about the brand, how you got it started, and what the whole story is. You were telling me yesterday, and I wanted to save a little bit of it today. So I'm sorry, I wasn't really listening, just so we could do this today.
Oh my gosh. No worries. People don't listen to me that much anyway, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Little brother syndrome, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, listen, look at me.
Are you the little brother?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Me
out of my
too, dude.
brothers.
It's always the little brothers that have
This
the big
is why
personality,
we're doing
bro.
this.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at us, please.
We made it, Mom.
Look at me.
Love
Look at
us.
me. Love me. No. So man, I got started on this. So I started going to CrossFit because my doctor was like, yo, you need to do something more active, not just snowboarding in the winter.
Yeah.
And I wasn't skateboarding as much as I used to. Because when I eat, can I cuss on this thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, when I eat shit, like
It
oh,
hurts.
dude, it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
And so I was like not going at skating as much. I still skate, but I don't go as hard as I used to.
Sure.
But but anyway, so my doctor was like, hey man, you got to do something more active. And so I was like, all right, well, my buddy was like, hey, you should try CrossFit. I'm like, I'm not a dude, bro. I'm not that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what my perception was.
I don't want
of
to flex
CrossFit.
in the mirror in between
like,
sets.
I'm just like, I'm not that type of person. I
Yeah.
didn't know the CrossFit community was so supportive in so many ways.
Yeah.
So anyways, long story short, I tried CrossFit. My friend was like, you should do it. My friend Alex Sandoval, amazing guy.
Cool.
He was like, you should try CrossFit, and you might like it. What'd you say?
It's
Huh?
She acts like she doesn't know my password.
Oh
anyway,
my
your
God.
buddy
Now
Alex.
I know it. No, we'll cut that out. So anyway, so my buddy Alex was like, you should
Yeah.
try CrossFit. I think you really like it.
Yeah.
So I called my local CrossFit affiliate. I was like, hey, I got to do something more active. I'm in the car all the time. I have a roofing company.
Okay.
It's MTN Roofing.
Dope.
And so I'm always in the car, or I'm going on a roof, and sometimes
Yeah.
I just use a drone. So anyways, I needed to be more active.
Yeah.
And so I started CrossFit. I told the coach, CrossFit Mob, I was like, hey, like, I can't get hurt. I don't throw weight around. I'm not that type of person.
Right.
I straight up told him, I'm not a dude, bro. He's like, that's not how it is here.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I started CrossFit. I really fell in love with the community. And but the one thing I was finding trouble with was trying to find clothing that fit me and
Sure.
fit my aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I sketched up this kettlebell skull for me. I didn't even have a name for it. And I just made a couple of shirts. I had sent this design to my buddy, who's an amazing graphic designer. Nick Quintero.
What's his last name?
Quintero.
That's my last name,
What?
dude. Yeah, no
dude,
shot.
Another good man, good person. Hell yeah. My last name's Gonzalez, but my buddy is Quintero.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
so I'm cool too, all right?
Yeah. You're kind of Mexican too.
Yeah, I'm kind of whatever. But dude, follow him on. Dude, he's an amazing graphic designer.
For sure.
Like I think it's Nick Q on TikTok. Dude, he's really cool.
Dope.
But yeah, do you watch? Dude, he's amazing, dude. So yeah. So he actually made this 10 times better. He was like, dude, he's like, that's cool that you're working out. Like, make some shirts. He's like, I have that same problem too. Can't find anything that fits us, fits our aesthetic, our vibe. And so I made this shirt. The people at the box were really loving it.
They fucked with it.
They were like, where'd you get that? I was like, I just made it. I didn't even have a name for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I can't do RX. And I was like, I got to put a name to this. And I got to stay true to myself. I'm not going to be like, I'm a badass athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to call it UnoMas, because even though I can't do RX now, what I can do is my max effort and go one more. UnoMas.
Hell yeah.
And
dude.
I was like, you know what? Doesn't matter if it's through your fitness journey or whatever you're starting. When shit hits the fan, when things get tough, when things get hard, when you feel like giving up, you should always try to go one more.
Yeah.
Go one more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so people really related to that, and people were like, I had people come up to me at our pop-ups. We started doing pop-ups. We got invited to a couple of local events, and it was just kind of like snowballed.
Just nice organic growth.
Yeah, and people are like, man, I use this UnoMas mantra, if you want to call it that, with sobriety, suicidal, people who are suicidal. They're like, I tell myself, I'm feeling crappy today, my story's not done, what's tomorrow like? You know, and they tell themselves that. So it's kind of,
I just got the chills,
dude, it's
bro.
crazy how people are really like I said, I'm just trying to be myself.
Yeah.
And this is turning into something that, honestly, if it wasn't for the CrossFit community embracing, saying, that looks cool, you should do that. If you're not finding the shirt, put a name on that. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I thought about it. I was like, well, I'm going to call it UnoMas.
It's bigger than just the clothes and shit. It's the brand.
And I skateboard and snowboard, so we also tell we don't say last try. We don't say last run.
Nah.
We say...
You do say first tee, though. First
tee,
try.
Oh, first tee, yeah. First tee, like golf? I'm just kidding.
No, in Milwaukee, if somebody's about to hit like their first ever kickflip or whatever, you go first tee.
Oh,
you know
there you go.
Yeah,
That's what's up. That's what must be a Milwaukee thing, because I don't call it that.
He's like,
new.
yeah, do it.
They're like, hell yeah, do it.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so we just, I said, this also fits my vibe and who I am, my authentic self. It's like going one more. Hey, we don't say last try, we don't say last run, let's go one more.
That's dope.
Let's do it. And so, yeah, man, it's just been like to see the growth. That was, I started CrossFit 2 years ago.
Yeah.
6 months after, I started the clothing line, and we went out to, when I was like really thinking about, hey, this looks like it's going to turn more into just, supporting my fitness journey, because that's how I was looking at it. I sell shirts. It's going to, if anything, it's going to provide for my, dude, CrossFit.
Pay your box fee.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's just going to provide for that.
Yeah.
And it's turning into something bigger. And so I was talking to my brother, Angelo, and he also goes by Gallery Cat. So all my friends,
For what?
Family, because my brother's a hip hop artist, an amazing
dope.
musician,
Cool.
toured 20 years, dude. He's amazing.
Damn. What kind of music?
It's hip hop, dude.
Oh,
it's hip-hop.
you said hip hop. Yeah. Okay,
So
cool.
Gallery Cat music, man,
Sweet.
he's cool.
Yeah.
But so I was talking to my brother. I was like, hey, man, people really like what we're doing, like what I'm doing here, and I wonder if the community is really supportive. It's not just a Colorado thing. And so we drove out to Granite Games, and as I was I didn't know anything about the CrossFit community, so I just started looking up like national CrossFit events, and then I saw the Buttery Bros, and so I literally DM'd Hibbert. Heaps,
that guy, yeah.
So
the long hair dude, right?
The long, blonde-looking, Jesus-looking
that
dude.
One, yeah.
I hit up Heaps, and I was like, hey, like, I want to meet up. I want to kind of get your perspective as I'm coming into this community.
Yeah.
And we met up at Granite Games a couple years. It was almost 2 years ago now.
Wow.
And he just kind of was like very encouraging too. And I was like, man, and I didn't realize these guys were like a big deal.
Yeah.
And they were like really like, hey, you should definitely pursue doing this. This is really cool. And the first stages were just like, we don't know what we're gonna do with this brand, because it has potential and people really like it in Colorado. But long story short, man, they hooked us up with people to get in touch for Wadapalooza. We did Wadapalooza. That thing blew up. We were doing actual tattoos at Wadapalooza.
Wow, no way.
We had a line. I was like, oh, if we're gonna have tattooers, like they told me you have to have an activation. I didn't even know what that meant. And I was like, what is that? Activation. What do you mean? They're
like outside of the event?
Yeah. They were like, oh, it means to bring people to your booth.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe we could do tattoos.
Did you take an artist with you?
So I have a couple of friends out in Miami,
Dope.
and they have a tattoo shop. I hit them up, and it was a friend of a friend, and I didn't even meet them until I actually went out there, and I was like, hey, let's do some tattoos. I pulled permits. I made sure everyone had their licensing.
That's sweet.
And we were able to do it. And I was like, hey, I don't know what this event really is for this Waterpalooza event. And they were like, they said there's going to be 50,000 people there. I don't know if people are going to get tattoos, but let's just have enough.
Oh, bro,
whatever.
they were
and
busy.
Dude,
they were
we
busy.
had a 2-hour wait.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People were first come, first serve.
Are you doing it again this year?
We are doing it again
this year. Put me on the list. Put me on the list.
Yes,
Get me in there. Get me in there.
We'll get you in there.
I'll get a UnoMas tattoo.
Dude, people were getting the skull tattoo. That to me was insane.
That's
you know what I mean? So
forever on their body, they had your brand.
Forever on their body.
That's
I was like, dude, I wish I could do something more special for you guys other than like bed props.
No, dude, to them though, like you said, like people are coming to you telling you basically like that they're changing their lives, you're helping, right? Like it is special to them. So you've done something great, man.
Dude,
that's
thank
great.
you. Yeah. Dude, and it's also changed our lives,
Yeah.
It's got me super motivated. It's helped other people because, we got Eddie Polito's helping me out. We got Shelby here, her husband Tyler. And dude, they've be able to help them, come out here, they help us, we help them. We want to, people who are honestly, we all have to get paid. Now it's starting to turn like, oh, this can be a living. This can actually turn into something.
Could be real.
Yeah, and it is becoming real.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the supporters. And man, I just got to say thank you so much, especially for my Colorado family, to Texas family, and people in Miami. Like, we're growing, and like this is our third big event.
That's dope.
We did Waterpalooza was the first one. We came. I call that considering our debut to the actual industry.
Public.
Yeah. And so that was like our debut, and that blew everyone out of the water. Blew us out of the water. It was insane.
That's dope.
Over 200 people plus got tattoos.
That's fucking wild.
Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I was like, I went home and told my wife, I was like, I think this is gonna be something.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then so we did that. Then we did the CrossFit Games.
Dope. You were there this year?
Yeah, we were there this year. We had a small little booth. I love that we had the opportunity to go. Yeah. But we had so much fun. I had these like little fans that were passing out, and it was cool. And, and then people there were like, "Are you going to do Rogue Invitational?" And I was like, "I guess so."
Now we are.
Yeah. And so we did. Now we're doing Rogue Invitational. It's been super fun.
Sweet, man.
We came out with a new collaboration with Fit to Serve. We met Fit to Serve out in CrossFit Games.
I was supposed to do a podcast with him this weekend, but he changed weekends from this weekend to last weekend for the the race.
The Formula One. Because I was telling him, I was like, hey, you want to come out here? He's like, I'm doing the Formula One or whatever it's called. And so, but I was like, well, hey, just so you know, I'm releasing our collaboration that we're doing, which is called Gordito Atletico.
Yeah.
And so we came up with that name because my wife, I was actually trying to figure out some ideas to do a collaboration with Fit to Serve.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I want to come up with something that's cool, but it's funny, but also that's still true to us, right?
Yeah, fits the brand.
And so my wife always calls me, and we have a fat cat. His name is Otto. He's so chubby. Otto, yeah. He's so cute, man. He's chubby, super athletic because he runs around his chubby cat.
Did you get that from Rocket Power?
No, but people have been saying that. They're like, is that from Rocket? I was like, no, but
I figured because the skating and the snowboarding.
Yeah. I was like, it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
But my wife calls me Gordito Atletico, calls him Gordito Atletico. Even we have another dog named Ozzy. He's chunky and loves to run around. He's like a big old Muppet. But so I was like, you know what? Like, let's just do that. Let's just introduce a bigger size line product.
Yeah.
Again, I started this brand because I couldn't find anything that fit me.
Right.
So I was like, I need to have bigger sizes for our bigger people.
Yep.
And so I talked to Evan from Fit to Serve, and then I was like, hey, we're going to come out with the Gordito Atletico line, and then you're going to make that into the collaboration.
That's dope.
And it's funny. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a big hit here. I think we only have a couple of shirts left.
That's so
and,
cool.
And we have the hoodies. We have the crew necks. We have the He Loves Till, so we did a Till shirt for him. We got crew neck sweaters. It's just really fun, dude. So
that's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack for sure. I struggled when I came into CrossFit too with the aesthetic of CrossFit because I've always been into the bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman realm. I've said that a million times now, but I'm not into the bro clothes either, you know. I don't like the bro designs or anything like that. I like the skate clothing because that's where I come from too.
Yeah.
And so like I'm always like the weirdo that just has like different random brands on, you know, that like goes into the gym. People are like, "What's that shirt? What's that shirt?" I'm like, "Well, it's just not. It has nothing to do with this, so we don't have to talk about it." You know what I mean? But so I totally rock with the whole idea with that. But let's back it up a little bit. You said that you also have a roofing company.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're an entrepreneur.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure. What how? Growing up, is that kind of what you had your eyes on, or were you the school kid? What? Give me the deal.
So I grew up. My parents took in foster kids from the juvenile detention center out in Dallas.
Wow.
And so I grew up with different kids coming into my home since the age of 2 until I moved out of my house.
What was that like?
And so it was crazy. To me, it was a normal life. You know, I grew up with different kids coming in, but my dad had a heart for the community. And there was these kids. There was actually how that got started was there was some kids that were running away from their homes because they were being abused from their family.
Okay.
So my parents were like, "Come stay with us. You don't need to be with them." Well, that's harboring or runaway is what it's called. It's against the law.
Okay.
So they were like, "Hey, but the state was like, we see your intentions. It's good. So you can be a foster parent." And so they became foster parents. And with that, my dad always did remodeling, did stuff with his hands.
Yeah.
He came from pretty much not having my grandfather was in and out of prison. My grandmother, she's Chola, man. She's in San Antonio. She's got all tatted
like a banger?
up. Yeah,
wow.
She's like all tatted up. She even had she has tattoos where the drugs at, where she knows where she put the needle. Like she was rough background. So my dad wanted to break that cycle. And so he was like, instead of selling dope, I'm going to do remodeling. I'm going to figure out a pathway for myself, and I'm going to help others around me. And that's what I grew up in. And my dad has always told me, he's like, "Mijo, do whatever you want." You know, he's like, you have the power of God behind you. You can do whatever you want, and just know that have good intentions and be good at what you do and have integrity. And so that's what I did. And so I was never really good with remodeling.
Yeah.
But I was always good at managing the project with my dad.
The logistics stuff.
Yeah, logistics and getting the supplies ready and doing all that stuff. And then I kind of, I had to have a backup plan for that was like my trade of backup with anything. But I'm an artist, I'm a skateboarder, you know what I mean? And so I do graffiti, and I've always drawn and done something. And so my dad was like, continue to do that, continue to pursue that life, but you need to have a backup. And so how I got into roofing was I was doing commercial sales for a big for a big hardware company, and I was very complacent. And then I just realized I was like, this is not for me. I'm only hitting a glass ceiling, and there's nothing that I can do. And so I decided to work for a roofing company as a visual designer, because that's what I was going to school for, to do art or something.
Dope.
And
you were in college at this time?
I was in a community college.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to, help a small roofing company, and, whatever they need graphic design wise or whatever. I'm good at a visual of how to run a company and kind of coming up with systems and whatever. And so
because you're a creative, so you can see it from all angles.
Exactly. And so I started doing that. I helped this roofing company. It's a huge roofing company in Texas now. And I then moved their first office out of state to Colorado, and that's how I moved there. I found an opportunity to go to the mountains because I love snowboarding.
Yeah.
And so my wife and we moved out there, and I was like, all right, we started that branch of that roofing company. Things didn't plan out the way how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And then I started talking with my dad again, and he's like, "Mijo, do it on your own.
Yeah.
You can do this. You've already started it over there." And so I said, you know what? I got my license in roofing, and just started a roofing company. And that was and then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm coming into a new company, a roofing company, and it's in a pandemic. Well, let's, again, creative mind.
Yeah.
Contactless inspections and knocking on doors and having that hustle and doing that, and still be able to knock on doors, but in a distance, and because we're an essential business, so we're able to still do that.
Cool.
And but again, when that was happening, my creative side was dimming.
Yeah.
And I'm a creative, and I was getting depressed, and I was feeling low.
Yep.
And that same year when I started my roofing company is the same year I lost my dad. And so I was like, man, like I'm starting a roofing company. The pandemic happened. My dad dies in a motorcycle accident. I'm like, what is happening? My shit's hitting the fan.
And your dad seems to be like a really integral portion of your life too. Like,
Exactly.
dude, he's super supportive to you. Seems like a great father figure.
Yeah.
Like just there for you.
Exactly. And so when that happened, I was like, man, you know what? Like, I got to see this. Like God wouldn't put you in a situation that you can't handle. So I was like, I'm going to do this. I can either go left or I can go right. And I decided to go right. And so I was like, I'm not going to, at that time, I like made sure I didn't drink at all. I was like, I wanted to be super like
dialed in
because I knew with our history, with our family history, dude, we have vices. My dad wasn't like that, but like some of my other people in my family, my friends, we all have our vices. And when shit does hit the fan, sometimes it's just only natural for that is to go the other way and to feel depressed and go down and go that narrow.
Yeah, calm the storm somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? It's just everything happened. Again, that's when my doctor was like, hey, you need to do something more active. Your health is I was eating a lot more, and the doctor was like, hey, your health is getting out of control.
Yeah.
So I like made sure I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna do something active. I gotta stay focused on my job.
Where do you think that you get that mindset from? Where like a lot of people, they'll go down that path of like, I need the alcohol or the drugs to kind of calm the storm. But like you have the insight to be like, no, this is a threat in my family. I'm just gonna cut it here. I'm gonna make sure that I stay dialed in, find purpose somewhere else. It sounds like to me, it sounds like what you're saying kind of is like you lost purpose because you were losing the creative and you were just focusing on the business shit.
Exactly.
The stuff that creatives don't like. Where do you get that insight for yourself? Do you think it came from your dad or did it come from another portion of your life?
It came from my dad and also our religious background, man. You know what I mean? Like I really
heavy on the religion?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I'm not like a religious person,
but
I have a relationship with my God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was like one thing my dad has always instilled in me is like, hey, you know, let like you do your best, let God do the rest. You know what I mean? He always told me that.
Yeah.
And he always told me that. And so when my dad passed away, I was like, oh my gosh, like usually in this situation when I'm feeling low, I'll go to my dad.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll pray and I'll ask God, like, give me guidance, give me something, like what do I need to do? Like give me wisdom, something, you know? And when you're feeling like you're so alone, you don't do that. You just really have to like go onto yourself and go on what you fall back on. And if you don't have a good foundation, that's why it's so important to be a good father figure, be a good role model to others. You know what I mean? It's like, be that supportive to somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you have kids yourself?
I don't have any kids. No kids at all. Just animals, pet. We're pet. You know, I got what is it called? A furry family or whatever. Whatever. But yeah. So it's just like one of those things, and I've seen growing up, kids again coming in our foster home. Kids like my dad was like, hey, like mijo, I'm gonna be with them today because they don't have a dad. Yeah. And they need that. Like we're lucky enough that we have each other, but who's gonna stand for them? Their parents are not there around. They have no family members. So you got to be that support. And I got that from growing up in this type of situation. Did that make you feel any type of way, seeing your dad go spend time with other kids that weren't like a part of the family? Honestly, because I grew up with it, it was so normal for me. Yeah. It wasn't a big deal to me. Cool. I understood because my dad was very clear. Hey, I'm going to go do this with them. I love you. And I'm going to go hang out with them. We're going to go to their track meet and we're going to go to do this stuff because they're not going to do it. You know, he's still every kid that came in our home, they were my brother. They were my sister. That's cool. They weren't my foster brother, my foster sister. It was like, they're part of the family. They're part of the family. Yeah. So I was like, no, we'll do that. And they're like, my dad was like, if no one's going to be there for them, we are. That's sick. And that's how it is. At some point, as I became a teenager, I had a little bit of resentment, but still I had that perspective of that side. You know what I mean? You have to, if you put yourself in other people's perspective, you'll see that you see it in their eyes and you really have to think about that and take that selfless act away. Yeah. Then you'll be able to understand that. When I've heard people go, oh, this person bit your style or he did whatever. I'm like, that's great. I'm glad I contribute. Yeah. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I don't care for that. And that's how I grew up. And to go back on your question, how do I keep that light on or whatever, is really going all right, I got to be there for myself. I got to have that support. My dad was so adamant about I never saw my dad drink, cuss, smoke, any of that. When he passed away is when I found out he used to sell drugs.
No way.
I was like, what? Maybe that's where I got my hustle from.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's in the DNA.
Exactly, but yeah.
We're kind of the same way with our kids. We're like, at least for me, for sure. So we don't drink anymore. We just figure it's not really it's not conducive to the lifestyle that we're trying to live right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been super heavy on I don't want my kids to ever see me drunk. I don't want them to even see me have a drink because like I just don't think it sets a good tone or example for like the life that I want them to live as well, you know.
Yeah.
So dude, I'm fucking blown away by your dad. Like,
yeah, no, he's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, look, this is a tattoo right here.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Sweet,
the guys out in after we did Wadapalooza, the guys did that for me. Adrian Delgado, man, he's the one that does our tattoos.
What's his name?
Adrian. My dad's name is Adam Gonzalez.
Adam Gonzalez.
Yeah, but the one who did the portrait of my dad is Adrian Delgado.
Dope.
He's the one that does Green Street Tattoos. He's going to be with us at Wadapalooza this year too.
Yeah.
He was there with us last year. But yeah, man. But yeah, my dad's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I give everything to my dad, and instilling what we need to do in our community. So, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
And the one thing too, just so you know,
yeah.
I always give 10% to our community somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So I always try to, we did Girls Gone RX, I gave 10% of what we made to them. When we did the suicide awareness event, it's a suicide awareness semicolon event where we did tattoos with different types of semicolons. I give 10% of that. I always try to find a charity to give back to our community, and that's in remembrance of my father, in remembrance of what my passing of just going back to the community is.
That's so
cool. I always
cool.
encourage, every company needs to do something like that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And
give
I
back to the community.
So
the community that supports you, you got to give back to them too.
Exactly.
You got to restart it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is mental health something that you've struggled with in your life too?
100%, dude. Yeah, 100%. Man, that's another thing too. Is like having that. What's happened to me, especially this year, is imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing,
Dude,
man.
I feel that, bro.
And but I literally have to look in the mirror and be like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Do you actually do those affirmations?
I do stuff like that just to be funny, but it also helps. I joke around, but it does help.
It does actually help.
But yeah, so I just I gotta you gotta tell yourself those type of things, man. But also too, you gotta find people around you. You need to find your pack to be a supportive team for you. If I didn't have Eddie Polito here helping me out and saying, man, you got this, you are good enough, and having that crew or just having a supportive team, that's super, super important. You hang around with dogs, you're gonna get fleas, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is you need to find out who your people is around you. You know what I mean? If that person is a different type of dog, don't be around them. If that person is a super motivation, who's also realistic. My wife, I'm a dreamer. My wife is realistic. She's like, you gotta, yeah. She was the one that told me. She was like, hey, Anthony, if there's something you want to do, you need to put a timeline on your goals, because if not, it's just a dream.
Yeah.
So she's like, you need to put timelines on. You need to, if this is you're gonna do, you're gonna have to do it. And she, dude, I love my wife so much for her to have that supportive, if it
and be able to keep a G with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those type of things. It's so. But again, you have to have that. And sometimes, dude, living in Colorado, dude, I didn't have any friends until honestly, I didn't have any friends because I was just working when I went out there.
Yeah.
Until I went to a CrossFit affiliate, Gobs, CJ, TC, all these Jaime, Juan, dude, all these guys who were working out with me, seeing me struggle in the box. Dude, if it wasn't for that, I found my community and I found my people, and obviously if it wasn't for the people at the box to encourage me with UnoMas to say, this is something, you should probably do something with this. Yeah. That lit that fire, it kind of it started illuminating again. Yeah. That creative side started coming out again. Because, dude, I'm an artist. I was even in the Dallas Museum of Art. I had some stuff there. And I was always trying to do something.
That's cool.
And when I started doing the roofing stuff, I love my roofing company. I wouldn't, that funds, that's my bread and butter. Yeah. And now UnoMas is starting to become that too. So
it's crazy because as you get older, I'd say high school into the college age, you start losing that the kid in you, right? You start thinking I got to figure out, how do I make money? What's the most realistic path for me? But really, it's there's so many people doing it. You just don't get to see it. Me? Yeah, exactly. And it's not illuminated.
who said that really pumped me up. That when I started UnoMas, not Sydney Wells, one of the Wells sisters, not Sydney Wells, Brooke Wells said. She said in one of the it was like a little documentary. She said, "Why not me?" She said, "Why not me?"
Yeah.
You know, and I saw her say that, like, why can I be on the, like, why can I do that? And she really, like, I saw a change when she switched. And then when she said that, I was like, why not me? I'm in this industry. Why not? Why can I do that?
Well, it's because you're like, you know, life gets thrown at you, and then they try to make you believe that it can't be you because I've talked about this so much this weekend, but there's this like scarcity mindset with everybody where it's like, you can't win because if you win, then I can't win. Or like, no, dude, you can't like the people who are thrown into like normal 9-to-5s and stuff, like you can't achieve your dreams because like I didn't get a chance to do mine. So why should you be?
You got to pay your dues. You got to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then so it's like, slowly we begin to lose the spark, and then like the creativity goes away.
And that's what I don't want anyone to ever feel that way. And when people come to me, I had a couple of people heard my stories out of my booth, and I told them, they're like, I've always wanted to do it. I was like, do it. Yeah. You can do it. Like, I gave them my number. It's like, if you need some advice, call me. I'm transparent. Because here's the thing: if no one's doing it for me, I want to do it for someone else. And that's why on my O on Uno is a plus sign. It's part of one of our logos is the plus sign, because I always want to collaborate. I always want to help other people. That circle is closed in, but I opened it up on our logo to let people know that I'm always there to help and give my advice of what I know. And hoping that they can share it with someone else, because not to sound all hippie, but it's all love, man.
It is all love.
You know what I mean? So,
sure.
and to discourage other people it's like, dude, that's not the life. Let's all like, can we all just get along?
Right? Yeah, no, legit. And it's crazy because it's exclusive to the CrossFit community. I feel like that everyone is kind of like in line with this thinking and thinks this way. And we like Roderick, dude, he's been a fucking blessing to us because he's like, I wish that I had somebody doing what basically he like connected us with you. He connected us with a bunch of people. Like, it was just like literally would talk to people and be like, hey, did you meet my friends over here? And then
that's how we met.
Yeah, exactly. Literally exactly that. And it's just like, yeah, dude, he's just been a blessing and paying it forward. And it seems like you're doing that too. And I don't know where my mind's going because I'm overwhelmed with the fact that like everyone is like this, bro. I was like, we're at the hotel room and I'm telling Heather, I'm like, I just can't believe that there really are people like this that are so willing to let you in and to just like give you what they didn't have and help you out and put you on and give you opportunities. Because it's something that I've always in my life practiced too, where like any chance that I get to help put somebody on, like every year I own a gym. It's the worst business to get into, by the way. Never own a gym.
Gotcha.
But every year I try to
don't own a gym. Okay, gotcha.
Tattoo it on your leg. Every opportunity that I get, every year I take on 1 to 2 sponsored athletes a year. Like if they can't afford it or whatever it is, or I see potential in them, I just do it because it's just paying it forward, man. And like giving people opportunities that may not have it otherwise that you would have liked, you know? Yeah. So, dude, I appreciate what you're doing, man.
Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, dude. This has been really great. And, dude, I just, again, just want to encourage everyone to do their max effort and go UnoMas, go one more, dude, and just do that. And then, you mind if I just tell people to just go to our website?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Go
plug
to
everything.
UnoMasropa.com. That's where we're going to have most of our shirts on there. But I always encourage to come to our pop-ups because that's when we do our buy one, get one 50% off sales. Yeah. We always do that. But online, all regular price stuff, still support it. Yeah. But yeah, man, thank you so much. Follow us on Instagram too, UnoMasropa. Yeah. So that's UnoMasropa. Yeah. And it's .com, and then you can just UnoMasropa.
Dope, dude.
Love
thank
you so much.
Appreciate you so much.
Thanks for having me on, dude.
Thanks for all your time, dude.
Yeah, dude. Just I'd love to come back too, man. If you have me. And then here I got some stuff.
Miami, bro. We should do a live tattoo pod.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that'll be so fun. Here's some stuff for you guys. So I got some actually some wristbands here.
Oh yeah, dude.
So here's that for you guys.
Bro.
And then I got a couple of patches. So we got our Cut Bosco here.
Hell yeah.
And then we have just another UnoMas patch here.
I love it, dude.
Give it out to somebody, whoever, dude. That's for you.
Thank you, man.
We got some candy.
Ooh,
I heard Chong was here earlier. He just gave me all of this.
Some Skittles, bro.
Oh, yeah. This is drugs here at this event. You know what I mean? They're like, I've been like, hey, you want some candy? You're like, oh, yes.
Yes, I would love it.
Have some fun. You work out. Eat a little bit.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, thanks
so much, bro. Appreciate you, dog.
you.
Thanks.
Awesome,
like,
dude.
subscribe, all that. We'll talk to y'all in the next one.
Peace.